So we got a always spinning fetching process here. As you can see, if you inspect the console, we don't have any errors, but we also never get our ingredients, which makes sense because set ingredients, which is dispatched once we got the ingredients, is never handled in our reducer. So time to change this. The same is true for fetch ingredients failed. So in the BurgerBuilder file in the reducers folder, I now want to handle these two new cases. So first of all, I'll add a case for action types set ingredients. This is executed whenever we got ingredients from the server. There, I want to return a new state, and I'll copy the old state first for that reason. And then I need to set my ingredients. Here, ingredients should be set to action ingredients. And I know that I received these ingredients because in the BurgerBuilder action file, where we have set ingredients, I do pass this ingredients property. So now I initialize or I set my ingredients, and theoretically, we could execute this action or dispatch this action whenever we want. So we could also execute this, set this with any set of ingredients, with any JavaScript object representing our ingredients at any point of time we want. For example, to reset the currently built burger. Here, however, I just want to use it to initialize our ingredients. Now with that, I call set ingredients. I then also want to handle the other case that the fetching of ingredients failed. There I will also return a new state where I copy the old state. And then I of course also need to set my error here, and I want to set it to true. So error true. Now one important thing, when we call set ingredients here, I want to set my error to false to reset it in case we had an error earlier and now don't have it anymore. So I'll set my error to false here. So with that, we added our reducer logic. Now we need to connect our container. So I'll head over to the BurgerBuilder file, and there at the bottom of this container, we no longer only need the ingredients, we also need to get information about a potential error. So here I want to get my error from state, and now there the error property. Keep in mind, thus far we have no different slices of state, we only have one reducer, we're not combining any. So with that I have my error. Now one other thing we have is we never dispatch our init ingredients action. This one, which actually reaches out to the web. We never dispatch this, so this will never get initialized. So I also want to be able to dispatch that from the BurgerBuilder. So I'll add a new property here to map dispatch to props. I'll name it onInit ingredients, and I'll dispatch my BurgerBuilder actions here. And I need to add the BurgerBuilder actions to the index.js file where I bundle them. Here I need to add init ingredients. So now I can reach that from my BurgerBuilder container file, init ingredients, and execute it. Now the last step is to call on init ingredients in our component didMount method here. So there I will now execute this props on init ingredients like this. And this should execute this, dispatch this action, and hopefully successfully fetch our ingredients. Last but not least, we did add this error property to map it to our error state. Now, of course, I also need to use it, and I can simply search for all occurrences of state.error in my file here. These are the places where I need to use, well, except for map state to props. So this place here is the place where I now need to call this props error, because now we're receiving this as props. With that, let's save all files. And if we go back to our application, let's have a look if we got any errors, if we reload the app. That looks good to me. We got a burger here. Let's now have a look at the Redux DevTools. We see set ingredients was executed and did set up our ingredients. And now we can start adding ingredients again, and we can also enter the order process here. This is all working fine. Last, I want to check if error handling works. So let me head over to my BurgerBuilder action creator, and let's mess up this URL here. Let's save it. And this also still works as it should. So this is great. We can see error handling with our higher order component still works due to us using one and the same Axis instance. And now we can move on to the other places where we need to use asynchronous code. The next place, of course, is when we want to order a burger.